Strategy and innovation are not prohibited for Christians. What we're noticing in verse 6 should be this. But God demands that his people place their ultimate trust in him. We cannot place our trust in the very things that our enemies have trusted, while assuming that God will somehow bless that rebellion when it's exercised by us. That's the principle of verse 6. It's not that chariots and horses are universally evil. It's not that, well, swords are okay, bows are okay. There's an inherent goodness to this weapon and an inherent spiritual, cursed, evil voodoo with this weapon. That's not what God's saying. He's not saying, hey, you can't use the tactics and weapons of your enemy because inherently, in and of themselves, they're evil and bad. So Christians have to use swords. Only bad people use chariots because chariots are cursed and demonic, but swords are good. That's not what's going on. Christians can use the chariots, but this time they couldn't. This time. Why? Because chariots are bad? No. Because chariots were the very thing that Israel's opponents were trusting in. And the key for Israel is not that certain things are good and therefore can be utilized and these things are bad and therefore cannot. No, the principle is the difference between Israel and her foes is that the kings of the earth trust in princes and horses and chariots, but the people of God trust in the Lord. That the advantage of Israel is not horses and chariots. The advantage of Israel is they win despite being small in number, despite being inferior in victuals and provision, despite having lesser technology and weapons of war, because their God is great. Is it inherently and universally wrong to go to war against an adversary with greater number than he has? No. That's wise in almost every instance. But what would be wisdom 99.9% of the time would be blatant rebellion and sin if your name is Gideon. Because in that instance, the Lord had something specific to prove. That the battle is the Lord's and that he can win when numbers are great or when numbers are few. That the Lord is Lord of the battle. And that the advantage of his people is that Yahweh is on their side. He is mighty in battle. Psalm 20 verses 6 through 8 says, "Now I know that the Lord saves his anointed. He will answer him from his holy heaven with the saving might of his right hand. Some trust in chariots and some in horses, but we trust in the name of the Lord our God. They collapse and fall, but we will rise and stand upright.